We are 2 weeks through Div Cups. We've already got to see a lot of snake innings. We've already seen a bunch of great performances, and it is the perfect time to bring back Peterbot's Peak, the series where we rank the current top 10 duos in the world so far this season after 2 Div Cup finals. These rankings are based on their placements, how they looked from the eye test, and their statistics as well. And we also filter a little bit of the situation also, like if they are contested in a week. We have a bunch of new stats added to this series as well. I'm super excited to show you guys everything that I have been working on for this. Real quick before this video starts though, please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try our best to upload daily competitive content for you guys. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. Like we always do for this video though, let's start off with the current duos that are off the peak and just outside of that top 10. The first duo that is currently off the peak is the biggest unknown duo in all of the world right now probably, and that is Vico in iDrop. These guys were only able to play one event together that they did not qualify for, but on day 1 of the opens of the Div Cup, Vico was literally playing on like 300 ping on a mobile device, and iDrop had to try and solo clutch points by himself. And then on day 2, when they were both on 0 ping, they were not able to qualify in one day basically. So I'm not necessarily going to be too harsh on them not being able to qualify for the Div Cup just because of all of those reasons right there. I wouldn't be surprised at all though if by the time Vico and iDrop qualify for a Div Cup finals, if they just like instantly top 5'd or even top 3'd it, but we just haven't seen anything out of them yet. I can't put them on my top 10 list. The next duo that is currently off the peak is Tayson and Murstache. A lot of very similar things to what we talked about with Vico and iDrop. Week 1 they were contested off spawn by Swizzy and Vanya. They currently have 12 total elims in 1 game win, and then in week 2 Murstache had PC issues and they weren't even able to play together. And there's also still the ever looming thing that Tayson and Murstache could just end up splitting up by the time next week starts. Moving on to a team though that has dropped because of their performance, it is Pixie and Wox. These guys were in 6th place for me before tournament started, and now that we have seen 2 Div Cup finals, they placed 8th place in one of them, and then they weren't even able to qualify to a Div Cup finals. I just don't think, especially in a 2-day format, that a team that is as good of Pixie and Wox should be missing out on qualification. I think they literally only finished with like 120 points in an entire day, which led to them not being able to qualify. They cannot be in my current top 10 duos in the world, simply just based off of that performance alone. And then the last duo that I currently have off the peak is Clicks and Higgs. They've gotten 7th place in both the Div Cup finals, 36 total elims. Believe it or not, this is actually the duo that has currently won the most games in the entirety of Div Cup finals, having 3 total game wins so far. But double 7th places to me is not enough to be a top 10 duo in the world currently, and so that is why they are unfortunately the last team that is currently off the peak. Let's start off with the duo that I have in 10th place though, making their first appearance on it. It is Cammy and Hari. Now, yes, them being top 10 right now is majorly carried by them getting 2nd place in week 1, because in week 2 they ended up getting 18th, but still 2nd place on EU is one of the most impressive feats that we've seen so far in duos. They gotten 32 total elims, haven't won a game yet, but have also got an average placement of 18.1. Also, a lot to do with their bad performance in week 2 is because they were contested, and so if that continues to be a problem for them in the future, they could definitely be falling down these rankings. But them fully uncon show that they have the capabilities to potentially win cash cups, so I think a 10th place is totally fair for them. 9th place, I have a duo that I don't know how many of you guys are going to agree with, but I have Ferdoxy and Pablo in 9th place. They only played one singular tournament together. They got 11th place in it with 25 total elims. They were contested every single game off spawn though, and I feel like I really am giving Ferdoxy individually a lot more credit, because Ferdoxy literally with a different duo the week before that won the cash cup. So Ferdoxy himself has technically won a cash cup this season, just not with Pablo. But Fred and Pablo are still trying to build up that duo chemistry together after playing with each other in trios. I still do think that people are underrating this duo, and when they are fully uncontested, they have to be an almost auto lock to be a top 5 duo in any given week. The fragging capability is always going to be there. The tournament win potential as well. Even though they don't have the craziest placement so far, they've only played one tournament together, and I'm just very excited about their potential. Another duo that I could probably say a lot of the same things about is Cold and Ritual, who I have in my 8th place spot right now. They've gotten 18th and 6th place in the Cash Cup finals, being contested in both of them. In week 2 though, they did end up winning 3-0 off spawn. They have unfortunately moved down 4 spots from the preseason rankings till now, but they've gotten 47 total elims, they've won 1 total match, and they have an average placement of 20.4. Their average placement of course is going to be lower because they did die off spawn a couple of times in week 1, but they do currently have the 5th most elims out of all duos on either NA or EU after 2 weeks of cash cups, and I'm hoping we're going to potentially see them get uncon in the future so they can show what their real max potential is. Moving on to the 7th place spot, I have Iamzo and Agers. Now Iamzo and Agers, their placements so far this season are 4th and 3rd. This to me could be one of the highest rising duos over these next couple of weeks, just because I still absolutely love their potential, and it kind of hurts me to have to put them in 7th place. They've gotten 47 total elims, won 1 game, and they actually are the most consistent duo after 2 weeks, getting an average placement of 7.65 in the games that they are playing. They have a really good POI, completely uncontested. They finally showed their real fragging capabilities this recent week. I see nothing but success in the future for Iamzo and Agers, and I would not be surprised at all if they even jump into being like a top 5 duo by next week. But there still, to me, has been 3 NA teams that have simply just performed better than them this season. In 6th place, I have to give respect to Rapid and Threats. They have gotten 2nd and 4th. They actually currently have the 2nd most elims in the entirety of Div Cups with 65 total elims, only behind peterbot and Poyo. They've won 1 total match in these Div Cups and have an average placement of exactly 10. Rapid and Threats have probably been the most surprising duo this entire season. I really didn't see anybody rating these guys super highly before the season started, and for me to now say that they are a borderline top 5 duo in the entire world just goes to show how underrated both of those players are. Let's move on to my top 5 now. Another duo that made a big jump for me is Acorn and Bolts. These guys got 3rd and 2nd place in the 2 Cash Cup finals, 60 total elims, 1 game win, an 8.4 average placement, the 2nd most consistent team in the entire world. I said before the season started I wasn't confident putting Acorn and Bolts as a current top 10 duo in the world, just because after the global championship performance I did kind of fall into the propaganda of people slandering Acorn, but Acorn has literally won multiple duo FNCSs. He's shown that he is one of the best duos players of all time, and it seems like that success is coming back again for duos now. In week 1, Acorn was on like 50 ping and they still finished in 3rd, only lost the Cash Cup by like less than 20 points, and then in week 2, with them both finally being on 00 ping, they finished in 2nd place. This duo has to be top 5 right now, just simply based on what we have seen. And then the final duo that I have in this row, this one also might be a little bit controversial, and you guys can let me know in the comments if I'm being too high on them, but I have Swizzy and Vanya as the current 4th best duo in the entire world. They got 19th place in week 1 where they were contested by Tayson and Merstash, and then in week 2 when they were fully uncon, they got 3rd place. They've so far gotten 40 total elims in 2 weeks, 1 win, and an 18.6 average placement. This one might be a little bit more of projection from me and just how good I still think they are individually compared to maybe what their overall placements have shown. But any week that Swizzy and Vanya are going to be fully uncontested in the finals, they have to be in contention to win the entire thing. And it also just comes down to regional differences at the end of the day. Like, I really do believe that EU is better than NA, and I think that shouldn't even be a topic of discussion. And so if there was a global championships tomorrow with everybody being fully uncontested, who do I actually believe in more to place higher between Swizzy and Vanya, and even like Acorn and Bolt, who is 1 spot under them? I would have to go with Swizzy and Vanya, and that is why I have them in my current 4th best duo in the entire world. Let's move on to the big 3 right now, though. I think there is currently 2 EU teams and then 1, we should all know the best team, but the duo that I have in 3rd place, they only have played 1 tournament together, but I have Vino and Chino in 3rd place. They finished in 2nd place in the only Cash Cup that they played in, got 36 total elims, 2 game wins, and a 11.3 average placement. Chino has so far been the most consistent EU duos player this entire season, getting 1st and 2nd place in the Cash Cup finals. He ended up literally dropping the duo that he won the Cash Cup with because he believed in Vino more. And I was so close to putting these guys at the number 2 spot, but I just have to give the respect to the duo that just won the Cash Cup that I actually have in 2nd of Chap and Flixie. They have gotten 6th and 1st place together, 59 total elims, 1 game win, and a 15.7 average placement. You could already see the progression that this duo made from week 1 to week 2 just in their consistency issues alone. Flixie literally said after week 1 that they're going to win week 2, and they did exactly that. There is a part of me that wants to say that Chap and Flixie's fragging potential is higher than Vino and Chino's, and I mean literally in the last tournament they did kind of show that, finishing with more elims than Vino and Chino did. But in 1st place, I don't even think it should be a debate for anybody else besides peterbot and Pollo. Won both cash cups on NA, 80 total elims, which is 15 more elims than anybody else has had the entire season, 2 game wins, an 8.9 average placement. They have the best POI in the entire map, completely uncontested. Peterbot is finally playing back up to that best player in the world form. Pollo is playing his role as well as he possibly can. You can kind of see a trend in these top 3 duos right here, that it is all basically double fragger duos, and that seems like that really could be the wave for 2026, and that is why I am still so high on some other duos like Yamzo and Agers, Cold and Ritual, Ferdoxy and Pablo, and why I do believe that the potential of those duos is still so high. I want to show you guys some cool stats now though. I want to show you guys the actual total rankings of every single one of these players by average placement, elims, and game wins. So currently the most consistent team through either EU or NA from an average placement perspective is Agers and Yamzo, getting a 7.65 average placement. We see Acorn and Bolts right behind them, Peterbot and Pollo. A lot of the NA teams are super high up on this. And then if we're ranking these teams by elims, like I said, Peterbot and Pollo just absolutely run away with it. A lot of the duos that only got to play 1 tournament together are going to be pretty heavily affected by these rankings, like Vino and Chino, who are in 9th place with 36 total elims and only 1 tournament together. If we say double that, if we're just making a projection on what their elims would look like if they played week 1 and week 2 together, they would be at 72 total elims, which would be the 2nd most. So it's just another reason why I am so high on them. And then if we're going based off of game wins, like I said, Clicks and Higgs have won the most games out of any other duo on either NA or EU. And then we also do see Vino and Chino with 2 game wins, tying for the 2nd most with Peterbot and Pollo. So yeah, hope you guys like the extra little cool stats that I added at the end of this video. Thought there were some very interesting things that I think could add some insight onto why I am higher on some teams than others. That puts my entire top 10 list at Cammy and Hari in 10th, Ferdoxy and Pablo in 9th, Cold and Ritual in 8th, Yamzo and Agers 7th, Rapid and Threats in 6th, Acorn and Bolts in 5th, Swizzy and Vania in 4th, Vino and Chino in 3rd, Chap and Flixie in 2nd, and Peterbot and Pollo currently in 1st place once again, staying at the exact same spot. Let me know what you guys would change though in the comment section down below. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try our best to upload daily competitive content for you guys, and I truly do love and appreciate every single person that watches these videos each and every single day. Please use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. Far and away the best way to support me. Also appreciate every single person that uses my code. Follow me on my Twitch if you guys want to watch the set lobby finals of any of these duo tournaments with me. YouTube says I'm trying 22 videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.